Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Audrey the Travel Mama. Today I'm gonna show you the Hoyas that are specifically loved for their foliage. So without further ado, let's start the video. This is my Hoya CARNOSA Wildbur Gray. It's probably one of my favorites for the foliage. As you can see, every single leaves are different from each other. It's a white patch on the green leaf. When the baby leaves first growing out, it's actually turned to have a purple or pink tint. And when it's mature, it turns to a white patch and green leaves. It's not a fussy Hoya either, and it's growing super fast. I grow this one under growing light. In the summertime, I water it once a week. Sometimes I'll push to maybe 10 days, and during the winter time, every other weeks. And it's not fussy at all. I just love those leaves. They are so stunning, cute, and the patch on leaves just make this very special. This is my Hoya Sunrise. It's also one of my favorites, but as you can see, I do have a problem with this Hoya. Let's first talk about the foliage. It's such an elegant Hoya. It has the green leaves with a lighter green one, and the edge of each leaf will turn purple when it's under the sun, and the whole leaves actually turn a little bit yellow or orange. They're still young for me. I bought this one as a cutting, and here's the problem I'm having. It keeps dying off. I don't know what I did wrong. I water it when it's dry and I put under my growing light. All the other Hoya seems to be happy except this one. And here's a new growing point. As you can see, the new leaves already fall off. And this stem has new baby leaves and they all fall off. So I do have a problem with this one, and I'm actually struggling with this one. If you have any suggestion, please leave a comment down below so I can hopefully save this Hoya. This is my Hoya LACUNOSA. It may look like a very normal Hoya, but if you get close to the leaves, the pattern is just so different. It actually reminds me of the sunrise without the orange or yellow tint. I don't know, I just love those tiny little leaves. And it's also one of the Hoya that keeps blooming for me. Here is the bloom. And the fragrance, oh my god, it's so good. And it's so strong, but it's not a very powderish fragrance, more like jasmine or gardenia. And here is another petango. It's actually a flower for me, and it's producing another flower petals at this moment. But look at those leaves. It's so cute and it's so elegant at the same time. I just love this Hoya. When we talk about the Hoya foliage, of course, I had to show my fishtail. It's probably one of my favorites because the pattern on the leaves. It has grown a lot this year, but look at this new leaves. If you just look at this side, make me think of a mermaid tail. And it has a splash on the leaf or patch. I don't know if that is normal or not. This is actually my second fishtail. So I would say it's a Hoya that requires a little bit of experience, I would say, as I killed my first fishtail several years ago. This Hoya loves light. You can see it's growing right under this window, under the shade, and with a big leaf on top. And it loves this location. It also loves a lot of water, so I water it like every week in the spring, in the summertime, and maybe push to 10 days during the other seasons. And it is growing a lot. So here is a new growing point, and here is the new leaves. It actually has something growing right here. I don't know if that's a new growing point or maybe it's growing a petanco, and it actually has something growing right here too. So I'll be excited if it's a petanco. And of course, my daughter loves this Hoya, so she took this leaf out on this one, and she might break this one too, if I had to guess. But yeah, it's definitely one of the Hoya that if you see it and you have one, you just fall in love with it. Here's my Hoya UBOVATA. It's probably one of my bigger Hoya based on the leaves compared to my hand. And right here, and this is probably the biggest leaf. It is a very beautiful Hoya. The leaf is darker green with white or lighter green patch or splash on each leaves, and the splash is different between individual leaves. And it's probably one of the popular Hoya, so I'm sure you guys all know this Hoya. It's also a really fast growing Hoya, as you can see. I would say you just have to be careful because it's kind of top heavy. If I don't put it on the trellis, it will tip over the pot or break the stem like I did before, somewhere around here, I believe, right here. So I cannot break it without putting it on trellis, and it's grow another growing point. But like you can see, I put it on the trellis, it's still heavy and it's still kind of dangerous. It's definitely one of those Hoya that if you don't have it, you should get one. It's very easy, it loves light, and it's not fussy at all. I water it like I do with all the other Hoya. Summertime, once a week. Wintertime, push to 10 days or even every other week, and no problem with this one at all. So yeah, it's a beautiful Hoya. This is the Hoya Macrophylla Variegata. It's also one of those popular Hoyas, I would say. But the foliage is so beautiful. It's kind of like a painting or artwork with a green leaves with a lighter green edge. When it first growing, the baby leaves is actually a little bit pink on the side, and it will, when it mature, it will turn to darker green with a lighter green edge, and when it's fully mature, the edge actually turn a little bit white. So it has different variations at different stage of the Hoya. I guess make it more beautiful in the foliage, as you have a different colors on this one single Hoya plant. It's not a fussy Hoya, at least for me. I think it's very easy. It's a climber, and it's also very easy to root, as this is the one it actually comes with it. When it comes with it and it's growing to stem, well, the stem break off, so instead of root them again, I just put the two stems back into the dirt, let it root, and that's where the two new growths on both sides came in from. So it's definitely not a fussy Hoya. I put them right on this window too, so it has morning to noon light, filter light, and the water is like I water with all the other Hoyas, and it just keeps growing. This is the Hoya Crimson Prince. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this one. It's probably the easiest Hoya you can find even in a grocery store or in the Lowe's or Home Depot. I found this one actually in Lowe's, I believe. And it's a beautiful Hoya. And like the other one, it looks like a painting or artwork with the yellowish in the middle and darker green on the edge. I heard about this Hoya that it will turn to green, fully green, the leaves on some branches, and that's exactly what happened to this branch. As you can see, the mother branch is variegate leaves, but this branch coming out to be darker green with a little bit splash, and all those green leaves are coming from one branch. So I guess one is actually just have a darker green branch, is growing way faster than the other variegated branch. It's not a fussy Hoya at all, and it's a faster growing Hoya. I don't think this one went to winter rest as it just keeps growing and with multiple growing point. Even you can see I have the new growing just dripping down, as I don't have space to put them on trellis. I would say this one I just had to be careful watering, as I found out if you let the water trapped inside those leaves will just die off. I had to clean up the mess in here before and be mindful when I water it again, making sure that there's no water trapped in there. So far, I think it works. This is not fussy Hoya, and I just treat it as I do with all other Hoya. There's no extra care on this one for sure, as it doesn't need it. It's an easy Hoya. I hope you all enjoyed today's video about Hoya foliage. If there are other Hoya that you think are really beautiful for their foliage, please leave a comment down below so we all can Google it and maybe purchasing it to add it to our collections. And please leave a comment, thumb up, and subscribe. You all have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!